So aloha. I just wrote this last night and today. So I wish I could look at you more if it was memorized, but it's not memorized. This is titled The First Rule of Life-Saving. When I was 16, I took a life-saving class. It kicked my ass. I swam hundreds of laps in an ice-cold New Hampshire lake, made lots of stupid mistakes, almost drowned numerous times, shivered and quivered, whined and complained, swam laps in the dark while it stormed and it rained. But in the end, I passed the damn class, and the one thing I retained despite the cramps and the pain, the hunger and thirst, was the first and most important rule of life-saving. Save yourself first. When I was 19, a 100-pound girl, I was pretty naive, didn't know much of the world, got hired as a bona fide lifeguard for a New York City hotel, sunned myself by the pool. Things were going damn well until a 350-pound man panicked in the deep end of the pool, and I forgot all I learned. I leaped in like the world's biggest fool, ignored all I'd been told. A panicked swimmer will choke you in a life-threatening hold, will kill to survive. So to stay very alive, I should extend a long pole or toss something that floats. Otherwise, the big panicked guy can squeeze his fat, frightened hands around my dumb, slender throat. But despite all this knowledge, I jumped in 6 inches from his terrified face. Yet by some act of grace, and I swear this is true, we both lived through the moment, which I'm now sharing with you. But what, in the name of Whole Foods, does this have to do with the environment? With helping the reefs and the seas, endangered birds and rainforest trees? Stay with me, please. Don't get all out of joint. I promise, eventually, we will get to the point. Now, it's a noble, just quest to proclaim with genuine passion and zest, save the earth now. Wow, that's a bold, righteous notion that requires strong acts, strong beliefs. Otherwise, how in the world can you possibly save the vast oceans, the fish, and the reefs? To try and answer that question, let's take a much broader view. Go down a less traveled road where we may uncover something surprisingly new. So, here's the provocative query, and it may leave you weary. How many centuries have we been hurting and killing? You can bet the statistics are chilling. How many centuries have we human beings been plundering and slaying, raping, betraying, stealing and thieving, causing suffering and grieving? What's different now? Have we, humanity, fundamentally changed? Sure we have, we all say. It's a new world, a new day, 24/7. We can talk, interact, and engage. We're different now. We've entered the high-tech, sophisticated, illuminated, 5-star rated 21st century technological age. Now tweets can launch revolutions, titanium legs can run for Olympian gold. This is true evolution, no question, case closed. Now we have iPads and iPhones, robots and sky drones. We can text WTF, go to hell, join chat rooms where people argue and yell. Now kids can blow people's heads off in an Xbox virtual dream. Now we can drop bombs on Iraq with an LED 72-inch high-res touchscreen. So I ask again, what's different now? In this technological age, have we, humanity, fundamentally changed? What will it take for human beings to create long-lasting peace? What will it take for suffering to once and all cease? What will it take for mankind to uplift, to inspire, uplift, What will it take for us to make this much-needed shift? What it takes, say the masters, the enlightened sages of old, is to embody a truth that is simple yet bold. How can we possibly save the birds and the trees, the fish and the seas, the sky and the land when we don't understand a truth all the wisest ones share? That everything, absolutely everything, positively everything, undeniably everything begins right inside here. Now, what the hell does that mean? Haven't we heard this before, this New Age hippie crap we in secret deplore? Is this some kind of joke? Are you saying that I am solely responsible for recycling every damn can of Red Bull and Coke? That I have to personally fly to the Amazon and lay myself down in the path of the bulldozer and chainsaws, that it comes down to my own flabby ass? I just don't understand. Is it up to me to stop the environmental destruction all over the land? Well, sort of. But it takes absolutely no money, no external power at all, yet it demands a much deeper action, listening to a quieter, more powerful call. So, take a deep breath, relax, become a little more still. Here's the point of this long-winded poem, to do with as you will. It's so much easier to march and wave a big sign, to chant politically correct slogans and rhyme, to join crowds on Earth Day, to proclaim organic sprouts are the way. It's so much easier to point fingers of shame. They are the unconscious ones. They are to blame. It's so much easier to glare at corporate giants and feel righteously defiant, to stare at the inordinately rich and mutter under our breath, that's one wealthy bitch, to say they are to blame for Earth's ills and her woes, for toxic seas, tainted soil, global warming, GMOs. But all the great masters and sages all through the ages keep pointing us away from the lies, telling us we must instead look inside. In other words, they insist, when it's all said and done, be they foe, friend, or brother, actually, there can be no other. There is only one life, one energy, one being, one grand way of seeing. In other words, it doesn't work to recycle the paper and bottles you're using while resenting your neighbor next door for refusing. It doesn't work to march against the destruction of forests as your life's holy cause while hating the men driving bulldozers and wielding chainsaws. It doesn't work to spend your whole life trying to keep oceans blue if you can't forgive your ex-wife or the father that walked out on you. In fact, if you can't feel true mercy for British Petroleum CEO, there's no hope for our planet. There's nowhere to go. Because we are all made from one cloth, we got to think outside the box. I know it's a confusing idea, a profound paradox, but the world is one fabric. The threads connect everywhere. All the events, all the people live deep inside here. In other words, it just doesn't work to love your shoulders or the shape of your eyes while you secretly hate your round ass and your wide dimpled thighs. It's time to lean into the truth and away from the lies. One body, one planet, one heart, loving and wise. I am the earth I am trying to save. I am the endangered species threatening to disappear from the face of the planet. I am the torn ozone layer. I am the tainted soil. But this deep understanding cannot be just an intellectual thing. It's got to be born deep in my cells, a truth my whole body sings. I am the earth I am trying to save. I am the African poacher, as well as the fallen hippo, lonely and brave. I am the oceans, polluted and bleak. I am the tanker, crashed on the reef. Because if it doesn't start here, we're clean out of luck. Because if it's not born in here, we're pretty much fucked. But let's take a moment and get real and gritty. How do we do this on the days we feel shitty? I don't know. I'm not yet enlightened, and at times I wake up and I'm more than a little bit frightened. But the good news is I don't need to be educated. I don't need to be wealthy or celebrated. I only need to be humble and dedicated to the practice of stillness, which has been way underrated. And I know in my soul that what I'm saying is true, and I suspect with great joy that deep inside, so do you. So before we try to rescue this planet, to stop the damage from getting much worse, remember the first rule of life-saving. Please, save yourself first.